We are live. It is Monday night.
What's going on? It's Monday night Sketchy Live, the podcast.
The pod.
You've made it. It's here. You've got to the fun, the exciting, generally a drawing, sketching show, but mostly, sometimes, always, occasionally a podcast. Hey, we got exciting guests tonight.
Yes.
Oh my God, we're so excited to have them on. Our folks, our friends from the Michigan area, our Detroit family.
From Ferg's Rod Shop
in the house.
Scott and Nicole Ferguson.
So excited. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, where they started, what's been going on. We'll dive into the fame and fortune that has become them, how they went from mere peons in the basement to
Cavalcade of Customs.
amazing customized people hanging with the Alexander brothers and all that kind of stuff. You know, just he's so famous now. It's unbelievable.
He has surpassed you.
We're really, for real. So we're so excited to have both of them on the podcast tonight. So you're going to want to hang out and watch this episode, because we're going to talk about hot rods, customs, starting from from out of a garage and into fame and fortune. It is Ferg's Rod Shop. Scott and Nicole are going to be with us. So hang tight. We'll see you on the flippy flop. Welcome to the Sketchy Live Monday, the podcast. You've made it to another fun evening. Sketchy Live Monday, you've made it. John Jalopy, hot rod artist, do the doodles and whatnot. And with me, as always, the lovely, the talented, the amazing, smart, vivacious.
Wow.
What a rack. Ity-b.
Hey, guys. If you are just joining us, we have guests.
Yes, in the house.
On the podcast.
In the literal house.
In his house. We've got Scott and Nicole Ferguson from Ferg's Rod Shop. How are you guys doing?
What's
doing great. Wonderful yourselves.
We are great. Thank you so much for doing this for us. I know we have a ton of questions, and I'm sure our viewers have some questions for you. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about first this amazing piece of machinery behind you.
Oh, you're jumping right in?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I think people are intrigued. They want to know how this got started. So,
I was actually wondering which one was Scott and which one. Okay. Go ahead.
So when I met you, first time I met you, Scott.
Hey, welcome to the ity-b's podcast.
Was at the Autorama last year. You were in the basement with us. That car was in primer, and it was gray. And I thought it was cool as anything then. Watched this transformation happen from afar over this past year. And in March of this year, Autorama 2024, got to see it in the condition that it's in. And I know that there was so much work done before I even saw it in primer. Where'd you find this thing? How did it all get started?
That was like 9 years ago. She found it, actually. What's that?
9 years.
9 years.
Wow.
She found it on Marketplace, and it was a kind of ridiculous price, and it was a bad ad that it was missing the bumper and the fender and all that, and it was a ridiculous price. She's like, look at this thing. Okay. Well, then every week it kind of went down a little bit each time, and it just kind of came the joke. Oh, look at this thing. Oh, look at this thing. Here it is again. Well, the cheaper it got, and the more I looked at it, I always built like hot rods and mud trucks and all that. I'd never done a custom. And of course, I've never touched an old Mopar. I was always a Chevy guy. Mm-hmm. So the more it kept coming up and the cheaper it got, and I'm kind of looking at the ad thinking, kind of picturing if it got chopped, what if I chopped it? What if I channeled it? And finally I got to the point where I couldn't resist and drug it home. And now I'm friends with the guy I bought it from, a buddy named Mick down in Florida. And
Oh, that's
we're
cool.
still friends
Nice.
just because of it.
That is neat. So were you guys looking for a project then, or was this just
No,
really?
right now I have too many I'll never get done before I die. But it was funny just because it was so ugly and a ridiculous price, and it caught her eye, and it just kind of kept coming up, and then I had to have it.
I mean, ity-b would think by now that that question. Oh, so were you looking for a project? No one's ever looking for the next project
because Nicole found it.
Right.
So, I mean, I do search stuff
well,
because
wouldn't that be nice? We could.
I do search as well. And if I see something, I'm like, oh, look at this thing. And he'll be like,
I'm like, do we need a third dresser drawer? No.
But you've been a hot rod girl with him for quite some time, Nicole. How's that ride been?
A ride, yeah. It's kind of, if you can't beat them, join them.
Oh,
that's smart. I mean, you kind of learned that.
I have.
Yeah, it's a lot easier that way.
After 27 years. 27 years later, she still ain't figured it out.
Wow.
Well, I have photos and whatnot that we'll show here in a little bit of where this thing has come from. Because, to be honest, man, I even said it even when I was talking to ity-b about your car when it was in primer. She's like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing!" And man, it looks like a Mercury. And I'm like, if you knew what that car looked like stock, you would just go, "I can't believe that's where that came from." And I've shown her some examples, but they weren't even the right car. But you took all the ugly that was in that vehicle. So was it just merely price that caught your eye, or was it like, this thing is so ugly, I think I can do something cool with it?
Pretty much. It was an ugly duckling. It was one of those things where by the time it was all said and done, the car was butt stock, other than the guys, they put a G-body subframe underneath it.
Okay.
And
So
other than that, the car was butt stock, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, you know what? It was cheap enough by the time I bought it. It's like, I'm gonna figure out how to chop it, and I'm either gonna screw it up and have a parts car or convertible or something cool. And it turned into something cool, and then I was lost because I never had a plan for it because I figured I was gonna screw it up.
I'm gonna see if I can pull go back into this here.
I'm
gonna see if I can pull that. So keep talking there.
Okay.
Well, in the archives.
This is your life.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pull the.
Let me tell you, while you're doing that, let me tell you who we've got on, because we do have some viewership tonight tuning in to see you
do
guys.
that.
We've got Lizzie Daughtry joining us. Hello, my two favorite people of the week. Welcome. She said, I still don't get notified that you're on. I don't know why. You may want to check your settings on YouTube.
Yeah.
She is posting her YouTube channel as always, Ms. Butterfree 34. She's got some resin trinkets and jewelry and cool stuff over there. Go check her out. We've got Wiley Cavender asking how Gene Winfield is doing. We did hear about this situation with Gene, and we don't know too much about it, but I will tell you, we are definitely praying for him, keeping him in our prayers.
Can you see my screen or no?
Yes.
The big one?
Yes.
Sorry, go keep going.
Okay. We've got Howard Pierpont joining us. 67 heavy rain, tropical storm in Mineola, Texas tonight. Yikes. Praying for everything to go well over there in Texas. Paul Marziani joining us from Bradenton. Welcome. We have Jim Pollen. Hello from Hobo's Hot Rod Garage. We had Jim on the podcast last week. So go check it out. That was a fantastic interview with him. Really cool story there too. Prayers for my buddy Gene Winfield. Same. We've got Anthony Carrera joining us. Anthony from the car show this past weekend. Mike Williams is also asking about Gene. Again, we don't really have any details, but from some of the posts that we've seen online, he's doing okay. He's getting through it.
So let's tackle this real quick.
Okay.
To folks that are asking about Gene Winfield. So all we saw was what everybody else saw on the internet about that something happened to Gene. So we don't have any details or anything. We just shared that we're really praying for Gene, wearing my Gene Winfield shirt. Nothing's worse than seeing a legend have stuff happen to him, especially health wise. Yeah. So regardless of how or why, all I know is that he's in a hospital and he's last check he's doing okay, and that's all I'm concerned about, is that the guy gets okay and gets well, and all the other stuff that's for the internet to talk. They can talk about that, and if you want to know all the details, I don't know the details, and I'm certainly not going to speculate. So we'll call it that. Good. And we're praying for Gene Winfield. So the best you can do is that you could do that.
Yeah.
All right, we tackled that.
All right. We've got Matt Williams. Hello, Sketchy family. 110 degrees in Idaho today. Welcome, Scott and Nicole. We've got Diane Kinnery joining us. Hi, guys. Nice Mopar. We've got Cam McNulty.
Yeah, this is really bothering me now. I can't get it to do it. Keep going. Sorry.
I was saying Cam McNulty because you were supposed to say
me, Dota.
Yes. Anthony Carrera said, glad you got to see my pile of rust at the car show.
Yeah, it was super cool, man. Great job.
We've got Mike Hicks joining us. Hicks. He says, love these guys. These are builders I appreciate.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yes, they are. Dan Evans, our buddy Dan here local, dropping in. Neat black car in the background. Yep, that's why we're here. That's what it's all about.
It's amazing. And
such a beautiful.
It's pissing me off. I can't bring the damn slide up. But anyways, it was certainly not. It was not a pretty car when you started. You took all the ugly out of it.
Even once the body work was done, like before you did this cool paint job on it, I think it still looked really cool. The primer.
And you missed it. You didn't talk about the paint job that was in between what the paint job is now.
That's right.
This is not the first paint job. This is the secondary of the first paint job.
And it'll probably change again. Am I right?
I'm not allowed to. No. I was told to buy another car before I think about repainting this one again.
No, I would agree. I think what you've done and what you've captured in, and again, I had these photos are making me so mad. Some detail shots of what you did inside. People can see this goldish, orangish color behind, but what you've done inside those flames that you have on the car is amazing. Idea that you came up with.
Super detail.
That is, kind of out of the box thinking, and definitely kept yourself this original idea. So, talk about that.
It was one of those things where I had no idea. Like I said before, I didn't have a finished product of the car in my head. Usually when I want to build something, I have something in my head. I go buy that car and I build it. This one here was kind of like, one more thing. And that's what it came into. And then when we met y'all the first time at Frankenmuth, we were with Little Daddy Ross. Shaggy wanted me to do something on the roof, for Little Daddy, because the metal flake I got on the firewall and on the dash and everything. And then I couldn't decide on what to do on the roof. So with a month and a half left, I got a wild hair and decided to knock the whole thing down, body work it, paint it black, and do the first set of flames. Yeah. And Shaggy helped me. We brought it over to his garage, and I had to let him know that my whole thing is I'm one of those guys where I want to do everything by myself. And, I appreciate any people wanting to help, but that's just, I want it to be mine. So he graciously gave me his garage, and I stayed there a couple nights, and he just kind of stood guard and gave me somebody to chat with and bounce ideas off of, and I got it done. We finished at about 2:30 in the morning, I think, before we loaded it. Just when y'all got there, when we were loading it on the trailer, we both saw it for the first time, and I got those pictures on my phone. I love it. Me and Johnny just standing there looking at it. Damn.
If you can see the screen, there's a close-up of the flame job that's on this amazing ride.
Insane.
So it's super badass.
That was the second idea, because once we did that, I got it done and everything, and I wasn't happy with it because it was rushed, and I had to do all the metal flake on top of the paint. I don't like that step on the flames. So I guess while it was there, Teddy Z saw it, called Chuck Miller, and then offered me bring it to the Cavalcade of Customs. And I was like, I'm flattered. Just to let you know, though, I'm repainting it one more time. What? Why? I'm anal. It'll be along the same lines, but I don't like the paint job that was on it. It's not my quality.
Yeah.
So he's like, whatever. So I knocked it down and redid it again in a month, and redid it again. So now there's 3 gallons of Glacier clear over it. Everything's buried under 3 gallons of clear. So there's 6 ounces of metal flake and all 3 different sizes. And
look at that.
So, and then I decided to add the lace to it, and that's what I wanted before, but I didn't have the time to let that dry up.
Right.
And there it sits in and there's it in its primer stages.
And I thought it was cool there. Look at that.
Yeah.
It was just funny with this car because
it like that.
And that's it. Just everything. I never planned on finishing the car. It was supposed to. Originally, I was going to put a motor in it and drive it, and it just kind of kept snowballing. I'm like, well, this is kind of fun. So I was like, okay. Well, I chopped it, channeled it, bagged it, suicided it, and just kept cutting. It's like, oh, let me mold the rear fenders on. Let me do this. Oh, look, I need Frenched antennas. Let me French these taillights, and it just kept snowballing, and that's kind of how it turned out.
We'll bring people to the beginning. So there's the beginning of that car, and you can see just that roof line and and what you accomplished to take that car from that to, you know, where it now sits is a hell of a job.
Yeah.
You know, there's the chop, and there's where it starts, you know, the ugly is starting to go away for sure. And then, you know, we get into the primer stages, but it's just a phenomenal vehicle, and you should be super proud of what you did.
Yeah.
And
didn't I hear that it's like in a commercial now or something? What was that hubbub today circulating?
Yeah, James Clay, I guess he was at the gym, and he's like, so I need to, you know, anchor my head or something, to butter my ears to get my head through the door. But somehow it was some, we love Detroit or something. I don't know. It was some little clip he caught at the gym of a car passing, you know, basically at Autorama. They passed by my car and just happened to be in there. I don't know why. I looked it up, and they haven't updated any of their social media, so I got no clue.
And you haven't been paid?
No. it was at Autorama, so I've got no, I mean, it was a public event, so they can do what they want. And it wasn't like they were focusing on mine.
You're going to have to pimp her out now for photo shoots and stuff like that.
See, my whole thing is I'm still just floored that it's getting the recognition it is. I mean, just like my whole thing is I built the car by myself in my garage. I never had an idea of it. It was just, you know, one more thing, and that's what it turned into. And next thing I know, holy crap, everybody likes it. And, you know, well, who built it? Me. Yeah. Well, who painted it? Me. You never know how you're going to add up. And then when you realize the car is actually stacking up against, you know, guys that went to shops with 6-figure builds, it kind of, you know, it's like you don't know how to handle it. You just get kind of giddy. You're like, holy shit. Pardon my French. But
holy shit, indeed.
It kind of floors me.
Now, who did your interior? Did you also do the upholstery inside?
Yeah, all that is a roll from Amazon that was already pleated.
Really?
I cut out the masonite boards and stuck it on there just so I had something to go for Autorama. Because I bought a sewing machine. My thing is, when I was a kid, I wanted to restore my Nova, and they wanted too much money. And so I was bound and determined to teach myself every aspect. So far, the only thing I haven't done is build a transmission and set up a rear end, because I don't like that math crap.
Math is not fun.
No, I'm the kind of like, about that much right there kind of guy. I don't do the micrometers and the numbers, screw maths. It doesn't work for me. I'm creative. I'm not analytical.
Great, and you should be super proud of your accomplishment and where it came from, especially where it came from and what it is now. Yeah, sure. Any questions that are on by the audience out there? And then I'd love to get into some other questions.
Yes. Brian Bentley joining us from Little Rock, Arkansas. Welcome. Aaron Kyle joining from Largo, Florida. Love y'all. Nice. Scott. So
that's her brother.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Hi, Aaron. We've got the McCoys. Hello from Couillon Customs.
What's up, Couillon?
We've got Shaggy LeBlanc joining us. Yeah. Instrumental in a lot of projects with you guys up there. I mean, everybody.
He introduced me to everybody up here.
Yeah, and you're such a close-knit group, and you all pitch in and help each other. I love it.
That's why I got to thank him for all that.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's definitely giving of his time and resources. Mm-hmm. Wesley Wilkerson, another cool hand-built car. This is the first thing I heard about something going wrong with Gene. Yep, you can. There's plenty of stuff online to explain what's going on. Ryan Risher, hey guys, fellow Detroit guy too. What's up, Scott and Nicole?
What's up?
In the house.
In the house. We've got Frank Pupello. Awesome show as usual.
Thanks.
Wiley said, love that car. We've got
That's really beautiful.
David Walters, evening from New Jersey.
What's up, Dave?
Dan Evans wants to know what kind of car it is. So it's a
what model Dodge is it?
It's a Wayfarer.
Wayfarer.
Oh, and
I never knew what the hell a Wayfarer was till I bought it.
1950?
51.
51. Okay. There you have it. We've got Sean Moulton. Scott, was great to meet at Autorama. That Dodge is something to be proud of owning and building. Johnny, you have been great to meet the last 2 years. Keep things rolling.
Oh, thanks, man.
Rick Kyle said, I'm proud of him too.
Oh, it's her daddy.
So we've got Joe Faust joining us. Michigan as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ron Sedlak joining us. Oh, hell no, he says. Ron, we miss you.
Hope you're doing good, man.
So we're caught up on our comments.
So let's hear, how did this all start? I mean, you asked kind of that, but you guys were here in Florida. This is where you started your shop or working out of your garage. I mean, was it officially a hot rod shop at the time? And then when you moved to Detroit, it kind of went away from that? Or tell us about how you all started.
Yeah, basically I've been a cop and a mechanic and everything, and you name it. And I was, worked at the jail down there for many years in Pinellas County. And I always kind of did this on the side for fun. And then we moved up here the first time. I couldn't get into a jail up here. So I was like, all right, well, we moved back down after a year. She got cold feet. So we moved back down to Florida. Couldn't get, I was still smoking at the time. And our Pinellas County started the whole no tobacco thing. So I'm like, well, I'm out with that. So I went to Manatee County for a little while. Didn't like that. And she's like, well, didn't you want to try body work? So next thing you know, I tried body work, and it was always my hobby. And 15 years later, it's been my career. So, but it's always been just, I just, like I said, self-taught. I taught myself to paint, to fab, to weld, you name it. You just trial and error and get a little better each time. Every issue of like Hot Rod Magazine with the paint and body specials. I love those. I scoured everything about it and taught myself how to do it. And then ended up working I was at Yellow Cab because that was the only thing that would hire me. And it turned out to be a really cool gig because they hired me as a painter, ended up being the manager. And the other manager there was cool. He was a gearhead. So, we did a lot of stuff there. And, you painted cabs, but we also did hot rods and customers' cars and all that. And finally, it's like one of those things where he pissed me off one day. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I got enough going on here. I'm making double my day job tinkering in the garage on nights and weekends. He pissed me off one day. I'm like, you know what? I quit. So Monday morning, I opened the shop, and I was Ferg's Rod Shop for about 2 years, and then she decided, she's like, I'm gonna come help you because she was always the paperwork girl. Well, I've never paid for it, so I had no idea what to charge, no idea how to do the paperwork. She was always the accounting background, right? So she's like, I want to help you. I'm like, good, do my paperwork. Well, I want you to teach me body work. Huh?
Oh, there we go.
So and the problem is I'm right-brained. I can see the finished product. I'm very creative. She's analytical. She wants razors and, you name it. I'm trying to figure that out and trying to explain where I can see how to do it and explain the finished product, where she wants me to like step by step and, print out all these things. I'm like, ugh. So finally it clicked. She figured it out, and she'll run circles around any of the guys I know when it comes to body work. Because one, she's good at what she does. She's meticulous. But her being a girl is like, I got to do it even better. So I think that little extra right there got her. So, because we did my shop for 4 years, and it was great because we did the used cars running around those that I got from the cab company. So that way she could learn on those because, we're doing like the higher end of the used cars, which was great because they didn't have to be absolutely perfect. Best thing for her to learn on. So she get them prepped up, get them in primer. I do one resto and one good collision job at a time. And it kept everything rolling, and we did very well. And we weren't going to change, we weren't going to move or anything. And then up here, when my grandma got sick, grandma was on her deathbed, and mom was sick. So we're like, yeah, we'll come up here and say hi. And next thing we know, it's like, well, if grandma goes, my dad gets the house, and it's all right, I'll think about it. So we go back down, and then grandma passes, and it's like, no, we're not going to move. And then I got the price. It's like, they raised my rent in my house and rented my shop down there. So I was like, yeah, so they're signing. So closed up the shop, moved back up here, and I've been working for resto shops and collision shops, and I'm not happy, but it pays the bills for right now. And my problem was being up here, I didn't know anybody. And now that my work's kind of getting out there, I'm kind of maybe starting to look for a building to do a little on the side, but.
Very cool.
Gotcha. Okay.
Very cool. And so you guys work together though in a shop locally.
Yeah. That was the whole thing. Was I started to I left Roush. I was doing the show cars for Roush for a while, and then I left. I went to this little collision shop, and they were like, "Well, do you know any of the body men?" Like my wife's the only one I know. What? I'm like, trust me, dude. She'll run circles around the guys you'd inspired. So she came in as a body man, and then my middle son Cameron ended up being the body man. Her dad is a mechanic, so now I've been there 5 years, so now she runs the service department. I'm actually subbing as the mechanic right now because we lost the one mechanic, and since things are slow, I pulled myself out of body to let those guys get fed. So now I'm doing the mechanic. She's running mechanic, and so me and her dad are over there turning wrenches.
Nice.
So how many employees you got to get rid of over there before it's family owned totally by you?
Pretty much.
I think we have the majority right now.
I'm like majority stockholder, I think.
Hey, you were looking for a place. There you go.
So Nicole, how did you get into cars itself? So the fact that you had this desire to want to learn bodywork, I have to imagine somewhere in the back of your background there was this love of cars and automobiles and motorcycles or something. Or was it just like, if you can't beat them, join them? Is that really the?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, when we got together, all the kids had the Hondas, and he would go to car club meetings, and it bored the ever living hell out of me.
Oh, you guys talk about his cars. We're at a car club meeting.
Where's the car?
I had no interest whatsoever.
Okay.
And I guess it just slowly happened over the years.
Yeah.
Or did you realize if you wanted to spend time with him, you had to be out there because he was going to be out there?
Yeah. I mean, at least I knew where he was. He wasn't at the bar.
Right.
Just in the garage.
Yeah.
Car would have been cheaper.
Yeah. Probably would have.
Yeah, they do say that,
We'd save a ton of money if he just had a drug habit.
If a different vice would totally save you some bucks. Yes, for sure.
I've always been a gearhead.
And you have 3 boys, and all 3 boys are being raised in this way of thinking as well, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have little hot rods and motorcycles, and my oldest is a diesel mechanic. The middle one's now he was a bodyman, now he's a parts for the diesel over there at Peterbilt. And my 13-year-old is he's still
13.
He's 13. He likes to ride in the car and have people look at him, but then he doesn't want to go out and be seen.
Right.
Gotcha.
He's 13.
Leave the house. Why? I have the internet. Yeah.
Well, the one time I took him out, he broke his arm on the playground. So this is why I don't come out of my room.
See, yeah.
You can't be pushing him down the slide, Scott.
Nobody told me that.
We're into traffic. Yeah. You're gonna learn today. So Scott, where did you gain this passion for automobiles? Was it family?
Since I was a kid.
Stuff, or
I've always been into it. Like my mom said, when I was little, my first toys were a motorcycle and a little Hot Wheel car. And I've always had the passion. And my dad was an accountant who his hobby was playing with wood. So I mean, I never, growing up, it's like I was always building model cars, and then got into RC cars, and then go-karts and dirt bikes, and then real cars. And I owe a lot of it to a buddy down the street. I remember being in elementary school, the guy down the street from me always had like a dune buggy or something cool. And we lived around the curve, and there was apartments next to us, and that was the pool. Well, right across from him was the fence. And it was cool because I remember we'd be sitting in my dad's garage while he's out there, burning wood and all this stuff. And I'd look and I'd see like this blue flash on the fence. I get on my bike and I go pedal over there to see what he's doing. And I'm like the crazy stalker kid riding back and forth in front of his driveway. And finally he's like, come up here. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm welding. I'm sorry. He's like, you like cars? I'm like, yeah. He's come on up here. And he was, his name's Dave Clifford. He ended up moving away when I was in high school, and we finally hooked up a couple of years ago. I finally found him again. And that's it. I can't thank the man enough for him getting me started. I think I was just like 5th grade or whatever. And, he's like, everything he was doing, he kind of treated me like his little brother. He helped me build my first go-kart. It was cool as hell because he had dune buggies and then a rail buggy. And, I'm 12, 13 years old, and we're in this dune buggy pulling wheelies down the street. And it was the best time, 4-wheeling, playing in the mud. And, he took me out and just basically taught me how to paint, how to weld, how to fab, just, little bits as just a garage guy. And now when you talk to him, he's like, well, I wasn't that good. I'm like, but you lit that passion. You let me try and learn. And I just took it from there. And that's it. Everything I tried going to tech school out of high school because I had no idea. I got a scholarship. It was for computers, but I had no idea what I wanted to be. Right. So I tried mechanic, and I got to tech school, and it was the dumbest thing. I pulled up my hot rod Nova that I'm building, and here I am, and they're like, this is a spark plug. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I fell asleep. So finally the teacher comes over, and he's like, wakes me up. He's like, dude, you can't sleep in my class. So I showed him my book, and the pamphlet's done. He had to watch this movie for like 2 hours and fill everything out. Well, I fill everything out and took a nap. He's like, is that your Nova out there? I'm like, yeah. He's like, come here. So he pulls me aside, and he's like, tell you what, he's like, you want to come in here in the mornings, you do these paperwork or whatever, as long as, he's like, if you need to watch a video, watch it. If not, fill out your book and then go play in the shop. So we used mine, basically my Nova went out there, and that was where I built my first small block and
nice.
All that stuff. They taught me a little bit, and then I was working part-time at the dealership changing oil. And then, they saw what I could do there. My manager came over, he's like, tell you what, he's like, do you want to keep going to school, or do you want to work here full time? We'll teach you to be a mechanic and, quit school. I'm like, all right, cool. So I quit school, and then my dad had a fit over that because I was just going to be a drunk mechanic, and, but whatever, here I am.
Yeah. Those dog machines that make good money and stuff. Yeah.
Now you've got,
we don't do that stuff.
You've got some stuff behind you. So I see your bike back there. And then this is Nicole's little buggy. What is this for?
I'll let her explain because she made me buy this stupid thing.
So sometimes when you're scrolling Facebook, things pop up, and this thing popped up for sale like a mile from my house, and I sent him the picture, and I get the so I take it you want this? I said, no, I'm just showing it to you.
Right.
Then he called the guy, and lo and behold, I'm now the proud owner of this little buggy.
And what was the purpose behind this? Like, is this
Just fun.
oh, okay?
Because
At the car shows.
Better than a golf.
Mostly,
Yeah.
we were actually shopping for a golf cart for like Frankenmuth and all that.
No, that's
Yeah.
way better.
I don't do boring very well, so we bought this. Had a snowmobile motor on it.
Nice.
I pulled that off. I just put a 420cc electric start on it, so this way here she can doesn't have to pull over the because the 300 that was on it was a pull start. So
No,
it'll be a little more friendly. It'll be her little toy. So I'm getting ready. I got the rest of the fab work and the motor done on it. Now I'm gonna widen the body a little bit so we can fit both our chunky butts in there and put a cool paint job on it, and that'll be our buggy for car shows and stuff.
So how are you getting it to Frankenmuth if you've got
Your trailer.
On what trailer?
Stick it on the back of the car.
No.
Out there with the rest of the cars, there's a trailer and all that mess.
No, I remember your trailer, but it barely fit your car.
No, there's plenty of room on there because like when I put the Harley on the front of it last time,
Okay.
so basically where the Harley's set this time, I'll put the buggy across the nose of it on the tongue,
Okay.
and then the car still fits there.
Straps. You
That
just strap it down. It ain't
I will
going nowhere.
say that my loading experience is minimal. And I watched you guys at Frankenmuth load this car and then Shaggy's car. I just get so concerned that something's gonna break or the car's gonna fall. It is. I don't know how you do it time
Because
and time
your
again.
mom vibe starts kicking in. And you're like, oh my God, someone's gonna get hurt.
It's not that and like this car, he's trying to pull this up and I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna scratch it. Look at it, it's dragging in the sand.
Mhm.
I was freaking out for you because
Yeah.
I'm like, it's gonna fall. I don't know how you're gonna do this. And Nicole's over there. Oh, we do this all the time. We you're like, come on back, come on, back it in.
You're a silly girl.
And
You
I'm
are.
like, oh my God. I don't know if I'd have the patience or the boldness to do it.
Well, who else is on the podcast there? ity-b.
Yes.
Let's see if there's any
Actually,
questions or anything.
Yes, Diane Kinnery wants to know what kind of engine you've got in the Dodge. So what'd you do with it mechanically?
Well, just to piss off all the Mopar purists, it's got a Chevy 350 in it with a 5-speed.
Okay.
That'll make them mad.
Well, that was
Not
that was the whole deal. Basically, the problem is your Mopar guys, they don't like small blocks. Well, it didn't have a motor and it's got a Chevy subframe underneath it. So just to be
like a glove.
Pretty.
Exactly. So just to be a prick, I made sure they could spell Chevrolet and I put the old script valve covers on it.
Oh.
It's an ongoing joke. My buddy, when I first started building the car, my buddy behind me was a big Mopar freak. And he's like, what are you going to put in it? It's like, well, one of my 350s. I've got a shelf I made with 3 motors stacked up on it. He's like, oh, you're going to ruin that car. I'm like, it was going to the junkyard. You didn't care then. Oh, you're going to ruin it with a Chevy. I was like, well, I want it to run. Next thing I know, he comes over and I hear him huffing and puffing and I hear thump, thump. And I look and there's 2 bare blocks sitting there. What the hell is that? Well, that's a 383 and that's a 440. Okay. And are you going to build them?
Right.
Well, no. I'm like, so I'm going to spend all this money to build these Mopar motors just to make you happy when these run. Watch this.
Yeah. Somebody wants to just hand you a fully custom, race Hemi motor. I'm sure you'd be like, yeah, I'll take it.
How fast does it go?
Fast enough.
It's not really built for a hot rod, but that's like the other day when we went to work. It's cool thing with being a 5-speed. I wanted to drive the car. So 80 miles an hour is like 1,600 RPMs.
Really?
And between the air ride and the comfy seats I got in there, it's like you're sitting on your couch.
Wow.
You should know better than to ask a custom, how fast does it go?
Why?
Because it's not built for speed.
He just said it goes pretty fast.
It's not built for
We got the
speed.
engines
It's
there.
built for looking good.
Nice.
That-
They're built for
This
speed.
one's just a pretty one to drive. These are the others for fun.
Oh, and what are those going in?
We'll see.
Well, that 6-pack is actually going to go on the Dodge, and the blower is going on my 37 Ford.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yes, there is a whole nother.
He showed me some of the other projects that are out there. It's a little dark there now, finally.
For sure.
We've got Joe Faust said, also, I didn't know Johnny was TV famous until I saw him and jumped up and yelled, "Hey, I know that guy."
Johnny is famous. Has anybody met him?
I don't think so.
TV famous. We've got Julie Anderson joining us. Howdy from the hot PNW 90 out still. Yikes.
Sticky move.
Mike Hicks said Johnny was going to get beat up by an elderly woman in Frankenmuth, and Scott saved him.
Oh, that's right. Remember that?
Yes.
That lady was mad.
She was
big mad.
She was
a little
pissed.
Yeah. She was not happy.
Well, because I was letting other people go ahead of her.
Everybody was trying to get out of the show.
And how dare I, if I'm going to control traffic like I was, I'm like, you must be talking about another fat guy that's running the traffic park, because that's not me. Meanwhile, there's a guy's car's on fire. Shut up.
Everybody at that show had a hat on and a black shirt. You could have been anybody.
I could have been anybody. Well, according to Joe, I was on TV once.
Oh, once.
Anybody else chiming in?
Oh, Cam, your daughter said, "Way to go, Dad! Make the elderly mad at you."
That happens all the
Wouldn't
time.
be the first time. Wouldn't be the first
Yeah.
time.
We saved the dude's car, though. That's what counts.
Yes.
We did.
That was a beautiful car, and it was a sad state of affairs.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So you have the 37, what is it? Pickup?
No, it's a Ford. It started out as a 4-door. It's now going to be a 3-window coupe with a blower and kind of mix of Pro Street, Pro Mod, and a little bit of Bonneville look to it.
Wow. So when are we starting that one? Or did you already?
Well, I cut it in half just to get it out of my system before I painted the car for Frankenmuth. So it's been sitting here in pieces for a year now.
Okay.
So I was going to start on it, but then somebody wanted stripes on their truck, and then somebody bought a buggy, and then other friends wanted stuff done on their car. So I haven't quite gotten to it just yet.
I bet you if you put the bug in everybody's ear up there, you'd have
the stripes did look good.
You'd have
she wasn't wrong. She wasn't
the
wrong.
stripes look great on that thing. Yeah,
it does look great. Yeah, for sure. Nice choice.
I don't know if that took a year to do, though.
It took a year of planning in his head. Oh, it was my Christmas gift.
The planning.
You got to research. You got to make sure all your ducks are in a row. So those ducks will run out on you.
Aaron wants to know, when are you going to finish the Harley?
Probably next, because all I have to do to that thing is just take it apart, finish welding it, paint it, and put it together and make a wire harness for it.
All I got to do is
Yeah.
Take a walk with me. That was another one. I got this one from Shaggy because I got a wild hair in my butt. That one there started out as a somewhat normal Sportster, and I decided to cut it up. I kind of have this problem where things don't last long.
Well, chopping us up is better. Yeah, see, that's coming along.
37s in pieces.
And again, that was a 4-door.
Yeah.
And now it's a 2-door.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Yeah. That's the start of it there.
Okay.
And then we got the Galaxy that I cut off the body and put on a 08 Grand Marquis, and
nice.
That one's just about done, but I kind of lost interest in that one. Imagine that
back there. Can we get a shot of the interior of your car?
Here's the Rebel. That's what his car is named after.
Boy.
He's a puppy. Just some nice.
Was there a Johnny Jalopy sticker on that car?
What?
There was actually, but when I redid my windows, I had to take them off. So I do need them.
That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, but there is one in the back of my Bronco, so I don't want to hear it.
Okay, we'll take it. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Now, who did those panels? Did you make those?
I did.
Panels? Nice.
Yeah, all it is a piece of masonite, and then I just bought the that's pre-pleated material because I bought the sewing machine. I was going to teach myself, and I haven't gotten around to it.
You're like, this is easier.
That's what I said. It was easier.
Those flames came out so sick.
Yeah, they really did. So cool.
Yep.
So then I ended up doing the dashes out of that Galaxy that I put the Grand Marquis body on. Trying to get you all lined up in here.
Yep.
How'd you get those flames on the side of the dash like that?
They're bead rolled in there.
Oh, they are. Nice.
So kind of like what you saw Jim doing with his bead roller.
Yeah, those came out cool.
And that's all over on the firewall, on the dash, all that good stuff.
Very cool.
She's pretty.
As you see there, like in the fender wells and trying to look at an angle here, so probably making everybody dizzy.
Lace. Yep.
So-
The firewall looks good.
Now, what'd you do? Just go to Joann's and get lace and lay it down?
Yeah, I got a whole. She got the actual the big page that's on the flames is actually from Etsy. She found that. Shaggy gave me some that he had. I've got a new batch. The stuff on my dash is actually my grandma's. Some of her curtains we found here in the basement.
Nice.
Oh,
So, and then
sweet.
since my kids bought my mom's house, she had all kinds of lace curtains in there. So when I do the Ford, I've got all real nice big patterns. It's actually my mom's lace, so that'll mean a lot.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's super cool.
neat. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
very cool.
awesome. Well, I don't know if you folks are ready,
Oh,
Scott and Nicole, but it is now time.
Are we dancing?
It's now time for ity-b in the
shakedown. All right, here we go.
These are
Gonna ask you a
crazy. Hold
series of
on.
questions.
Series of questions. Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna ask you a series
She's gonna ask you a series of questions.
that I will give each of you a moment to answer. Because
Each of you, one of you,
we're gonna
both
do
of you,
two
a
answers.
moment to answer.
2 answers. Okay.
Or they get 2 answers?
Well, they each get to answer,
Okay.
not as
Are
a
you writing
couple,
these down?
separately.
I don't know. Is there a category?
No, I'm just gonna ask you the
Here
question.
it comes. This is called
The shake.
the shakedown.
All right. First question: Die Hard, Christmas movie or not a Christmas movie?
Oh,
Christmas movie.
Definitely
Both
Christmas. movie.
answering yes. Okay.
I agree. Who started that question?
Probably
Draco
Draco
Cycles.
Cycles. Yes.
Shout out to Draco Cycles.
All right. Question number 2.
Go ahead.
Your favorite season?
Oh.
Summer.
Car show.
What did he say?
Car show.
That's not the season.
And again, the
Now you gotta
correct
remember
answer-
up here, it's car show season.
Right.
It's a mix between summer and spring.
Well, you were both close. The correct answer is paprika.
I'm writing
Question
down
number
your,
3.
I'm writing down your answers.
in
Okay.
the shakedown.
Are you an early riser or a night owl?
Night owl.
I'm both. I get up at the butt crack of dawn and I stay up till 2, 3 in the morning.
Okay.
You know-
We had a lot of people answer both.
I almost want you to rephrase that question because you're asking, are you an early riser?
Do you get up early or do you go to bed late?
I mean, it depends.
I got it, Johnny.
The vitamins are kicking in. I
Oh.
could be an early riser.
I didn't want to go there. I was gonna say maybe when I was younger, but now I just get up early.
There could be kids listening.
Okay. Manual or automatic?
What question is this?
Number 4.
Question 4.
It's got to be a
In the
stick.
shakedown.
Manual.
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 And I'm guessing for you as well, Scott.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
There's a 5. I put a 5-speed in the Dodge.
That's right. What's funny is that question, it precedes question 4, which was early riser. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Keeping it light.
Number 5.
Question
Your
5.
favorite toy when you were 7 years old?
Slight pause.
You remember about that?
Funny Barbies.
Okay.
About 7?
Barbies?
How the hell would I know?
Same.
my
Scott,
God.
same.
You were in high school. That's different.
Yeah, I was RC cars and GI Joes.
RC cars and GI Joes. I agree.
NGI. Okay. Okay. This is now Nicole.
What question is this?
I'm looking for one answer here.
What question is
Do
this?
not rattle off a list. This is number 6.
Question 6
You'll understand
Ex-boyfriend.
why I say that.
in the ity-b shakedown.
What is your biggest pet peeve? She's got a list. Look at her. She's thinking. I gotta.
Your Honor, I would like to put in Exhibit A through D.
Probably grammatical errors.
Oops.
Yes. Thank you.
Written or said?
Like typed when they do a
Okay.
Facebook post.
Right.
There.
So
Those
you're
things.
so when you read my posts, you're generally the person that's going,
Yikes.
that guy can't spell.
It gives me a stroke.
I do use there for everything.
I had
Damn
a
it.
slight period of time when I was in 8th grade where I used to do the Prince grammar, which was just the U and the number 4, Prince the singer. So all of my stuff was 4 and U. Yeah. It was brief. Okay, Scott, pet peeve.
Assholes. People that are pricks.
Good answer.
All righty. All right, number 7.
Question number 7 in the ity-b shakedown.
Past or future?
Future.
I like my cars in the past, but I like to look forward to the future. So
it's both with an L.
It's very nice. It's a great question. That's a good answer.
It is. Okay, your most favorite music.
What question is this?
8.
Question number 8.
Music genre.
Country.
Are you sure?
Get out your bowl.
Your playlist like a kid on pixie sticks.
Primarily country, new country.
New country.
Okay.
Scott, little Leonard.
Yeah,
Skinner.
I love country, but half of my favorite guys are dead and gone. I love old outlaw. I love old from 40s to probably 80s country. Maybe some 90s is about it.
We enjoy that.
Little
as well.
Merle Haggard.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay.
Because I was 21 in prison doing life without parole.
My kids call it my suicide country because they want to off themselves.
I'm
They say
alive.
that now, but give
My
them
kids
20
hate
years.
it too. My kids
20
hate
years
it
from
too.
now.
All right.
What question is this?
This is number 9.
Question number 9.
Beer or whiskey?
Whiskey.
Ooh.
I think you got the answer. That's a Faps Blue Blibbon. Because when it's Paps, it's blue.
All right. Now this one you're going to need to. This is number 10. This is my final question.
Question number 10 in the ity-b shakedown.
You're going to have to put some thought into this one. I'll give you a moment. I want you to dig deep.
Dig deep.
Be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable. Find your inner
What is
child.
your favorite thing about yourself?
Is this really a question?
Yes. This is a
I
tough
think
one.
I'm a ray of sunshine.
So apparently sarcasm would be your most favorite thing.
Well, that's saying that you don't believe what she's saying. Wow.
She says it herself. I follow this girl on social media, and she is a ray of sunshine to those that she loves and respects, and
Absolutely.
There
and
are,
vice versa.
listen, I will tell you this. There are many amazing qualities about this person,
Oh,
and
I
that's
know.
THERE. Many. If I was typing it.
Are you
You're
sticking with ray
excluded
of
if you have the
sunshine?
grammatical errors.
That's your favorite thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
She's
think
a
I'm
ray
very
of sunshine.
happy.
You are.
You are a very happy person. Unless you're not getting tots.
Here's what I
Then you're
see.
a terror.
I see
I was
someone.
angry.
I see a hard worker. You're a doer.
Mm-hmm.
You're somebody who is completely supportive of your husband,
Yep.
your family,
Right.
friends.
Yep.
The way you interact in this group and your involvement in this group where you were just joining to be a part of it for whatever reason.
Mhm.
You are now. Hey, lady, I am with you. I don't know if you can see. I've got my shop shirt on today.
You had to bribe yourself into.
I did.
I'm one of the game.
But you truly are. You're not there just to be there. You're not there just to spend time with your husband. These people have become your friends, and you guys
Absolutely.
are family. So you can joke about it all day long that you're only doing this for whatever. Just, if you can't beat them, join them. No, you're doing it because you do love it now. I can see it.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, alrighty, Scott, what do you got? What's your favorite thing about yourself?
I'd say my creativity.
Nice. I would have to agree.
Yeah.
Again, another doer. That's one of the things that we've talked about and love you guys for is that you are go-getters.
That's what we like about that.
the whole group, everybody.
The whole gang that's up there is just there is none of. I don't see anybody who just sits back and goes, yeah.
Right.
Everybody's like, yeah, let's get shit done.
Let's participate. Let's get our hands
Yeah.
dirty. Yeah.
And how do we do this and have a bunch of fun and make fun of each other and talk shit and
Competitive.
prod the bear and all that kind of stuff. So it's so cool. But if you got those folks together, and if anybody was from the outside would try to come in and do it would be not a good idea.
No.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you guys are just we really truly miss you guys. I mean, we go up to New Jersey once a year to go see my family, and that's priority to me. Last year we came to Michigan twice to see you guys.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to let you know, Scott and Nicole, you've just made it through
The shakedown.
the ity-b shakedown.
I'm doing my dance, damn it.
All right, let's hear some more questions. Who's hanging out with us
Oh,
still?
yes, we have. So Jay Newby's joining us.
What up,
Welcome,
Jay?
sir, from the gang as well up there.
Noby.
We do have Bob Shaboom
The
Frizz.
legend.
Hi, guys.
The
Welcome.
Godfather.
Throwing flames, taking names.
We've got Hal Schaefer, Build Traditional Hot Rod, halaboutit.com.
What's
Real
up,
deal,
Hal?
Hal About It Carburetor Man, joined from Georgia.
What's
Welcome.
up? And Jojo.
Chris Smolinski joining us.
What's up, Chris?
Chris?
Bob says, I know that guy.
I rode in his car.
We've got George the Glass Man. Hi, kids.
What's up, George?
Welcome, sir.
Well, we'd like to totally thank you for hanging with us and answering our silly questions. And, we tried to get a little bit of your background and what you've been doing. And you guys were living in Florida for a little while and tried to do it down here. And it was cool that you went up when family needed family and you were there. So, and it seems that it's worked out good for you because you've, got this whole group of friends now that, we don't have here.
And what better place to be than in Hot Rod Central?
Yeah, Detroit,
I swear.
Michigan.
It's the Motor City. I think I told you guys before, I've heard the song, Don't Forget the Motor City. And I'm thinking, oh, that must be a cool place. Like I had no idea that this is where all of it started. And it wasn't until I came to visit and drove the streets and went to the show.
You drove the streets of Detroit?
Yeah.
Huh. Where was I?
Lost trying to find the exit again when Shaggy broke down.
Tons of cars along the sides of the roads.
No,
Everybody
it's
has
a different vibe.
Yeah, it's just so cool.
Well,
so,
you're talking about you want to have a summery spring home there or something.
I do. How
Yeah.
fun would that be?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
I
that would be
know.
cool. We may move. Who knows?
We might move. We don't mind the snow.
We got nothing here anymore.
I don't know if I could live off Telegraph though. You guys lose your power a lot. That would
Yeah.
We've lost it once in 7 years. I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we might have to move
We'll
to
have to
your
go to
neck
your
of the
area.
woods.
Yeah, but see, for being from Florida, though, I got 2 big generators here, so I just backfeed the house and piss everybody else off
Oh,
because
there you
There you
go.
everybody's in the dark and we're sitting there with the heater AC
Like,
on.
how dare you be prepared?
We just need to come prepared.
Yeah.
That was our thing. It's like, we grew up in Florida. We've been both been there since we were little kids. I was there 30-something years. We both graduated Largo High and all that. But the biggest thing is like, no matter how much you tried, we didn't have the car culture there like we do here.
It really
It's
does.
like we went to cruise nights, you went to the Mud Fest, you went to stuff like that. But moving up here, it's like it took a little bit, and that's where I got to thank Shaggy so much because basically I needed parts for I had a 40 Chevy, and a buddy, he's like, "Oh, go talk to the Shaggy guy." Next thing I know, Shaggy saw what I can do and took me under his wing and introduced me to everybody up here. And as I said, it took a couple of years, because I'm. Like I said, being in the same place in Florida for 30 years, I knew everybody. I get up here, I don't know anybody.
Right.
I lost my mom, and that was it. And then, like I said, Shaggy introduced me to everybody. Next thing you know, we've been here 7 years, and it's like, I'm realizing a lot of these people we've only known for a year, and it's like we've known these people our entire lives. Like you guys, it's really awesome up here. It's like I wish everybody could actually experience the kind of car culture that's actually up here. It's what you see in the movies.
It is a different vibe for sure. And that's what, when we got the opportunity to come up and then hang out with you guys, again, you experienced exactly what you said is exact, which is it wants to be so bad. There's a group of people here that really want to have a car culture.
Right.
It's just somewhere along the lines things get lost. And, listen, I think weather plays a big portion of it. Like right now, we just did a little cruise in this last Saturday, and I was amazed by the turnout, which made me go, there are guys and gals that want to come out and bring their vehicles out. And then you could see people as the hour and a half went by, and we have all just baked in the tropics sweating, and we're like, I gotta go home before I die.
Exactly.
But
and the other thing too,
there was a lot of people that hung, and tried to overcome it. But man, it makes it tough. But what about the winter?
Now, see, you take it for granted there because you can drive them all day long. That's the whole point of this Dodge. When I was down there, this is going to be my daily driver. Up here, you get the difference where you only have a couple months, and you cram everything you can. Because this year, I actually started I'm writing down every time we do something. Right. And since we started with Autorama in March, we've gone to like 40 something events, be it cruise nights or shows so far, just since March 3rd.
Wow.
So I mean, you make the best out of the summer up here, and it's just like I said, 30 years being down there compares nothing to what it is up here.
But even in the winters, our whole gang gets together at least once a month for a potluck at Bob's.
Yeah.
We have dinners during the week. So we're just a family all year round.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the part that was the coolest part is, because Autorama's kind of at the end of winter, right? Or is that what it is?
It's kind of the beginning. That's when we're starting to come out of hibernation.
Okay. Yeah. So
yeah, a lot of people are probably finishing up their projects that they've had in the garage all winter that they've been working on.
But it was just amazing how the camaraderie up there and the car culture itself is just it is amazing, and it's definitely we Jones for it. We talk about it all the time, like how like ity-b was saying, we see you guys in even just the little cruise-ins, and we're like, God, we got to get up there, even if it's for like a day.
Yeah,
just to come hang out, just to get our Detroit fix, because we have to become addicted to it. Yeah,
and I would imagine that there's other car clubs. I mean, this is the Southeast Michigan Hot Rodders gang that we're talking about, but I'm sure other car clubs that have the same type of deal. And I mean, in fact, you guys know other car clubs that do that, and I think you actually hang out with some of those people at some of the shows you go to. So
we all go to their shows.
Everyone. What's up?
That's it. We go to their shows. We advertise each other's shows, and that's like with us. We kind of branched off because some of them they weren't very friendly, didn't want to talk. Well, our thing is everybody has a good time, so that's why kind of the whole reason ours even started. We weren't going to be a club, as Ron stated, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're a damn club.
We're a gang.
Yeah.
We're a gang.
But the cool thing is our thing is we want to have fun, and that's like when the people that come to our shows, our Saturday is a blast. Everybody, basically everybody you talk to just, talks about what a fun time it is. And that's the atmosphere we want, because I crave that back home because you don't have that down there. So up here, I'm making everything I can. And that's why everybody's enjoying it so much. Everybody just gets along. It's awesome.
Yeah. And you guys have, you have a Facebook page now for the gang. I mean, I'm sure you're adding new members daily. I see a bunch of new names.
There's always stuff coming on, so you're
posting all your pics. You're going to be doing I saw somebody post something about doing highlights of like all the different car owners and the kind of their story, like a little highlight reel of everybody.
Super cool.
So it's just I mean, I do have one of the shirts, so I don't know if we're in the gang really. Or
you guys are honorary members, whether you live here or not. Don't worry about it.
We'll make you our Florida chapter.
Yes!
That's right.
I know a guy. We'll make it work.
Florida chapter.
Yeah. And kudos again to Shaggy. He's been the facilitator for our involvement with all of you as well.
Yeah, he's got there. Yep.
He's one of the it guys up there. Bob, another heavy hitter in your group. Ron has been amazing.
Yeah, Ron
and facilitating
things. Booth has taken care of us, and now we're partnering up with him, doing merchandise stuff for us, and that's been great.
It's been awesome.
So we're excited. The friendship that we've found in our folks up in Detroit has been amazing, and we're so happy that we got to meet you guys and get to share a little bit of your journey and are hoping the best for more things. I'm sure this Dodge is not the end of some accolades for what you do, Scott, and just keep building and creating stuff that because you definitely have an eye for it, and what you're doing is amazing. And Nicole, it's amazing that it's watching you as a couple again, knowing that how you are and how my wife and I are, that there's that support from your person, and that's what makes it all fun.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you guys for sure on that part.
Yep.
Anything else you want to share before we head out? We're almost at an hour here.
Yeah.
Well, I say You guys need to sneak up here for a weekend. We'd love to have you all on a Saturday. That way we don't have to wait till Frankenmuth.
How long do those shows go through? Like, when do you actually stop doing those?
What, as far as at the end of the season?
Yeah.
Weather, we're going to see how far we can take it.
Yeah.
Usually beginning of October, the weather starts to get a little too chilly.
Okay.
So we'll have to sneak up there soon.
Yeah, July's busy for me, but maybe in August.
August, September, I think we should still be rolling strong.
Okay. Well, we'll keep you posted. We'd love to come up and see everybody and hang out at the show.
Yeah.
So
do some karaoke.
Yeah, the karaoke.
It's so fun.
I want somebody to do Islands in the Stream with me.
Not gonna happen.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. Only if I'm Dolly.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Goodness, how fun.
So it's like I want to give a shout out to like Shaggy and Ron and Bob and Vicky and Terry and all these guys. I mean, it's a family up here, and it's awesome the fact that here we are. We know you guys through Shaggy.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He invited us through there, and like all these guys have it's been a family, and it's awesome to be able to be what we are, and the fact that it's like we might not be able to hang out with everybody every day, but it's like everyboody there when you need them. It's awesome to have these people as friends.
Yeah, Fight Masters, the Clays, they're not on right now that I can see, but they've been great too. We've enjoyed watching their journeys.
There hasn't all the group that we've met to this point. The 2 times that we've made it, or 3 times now that we've made it to Detroit. We haven't walked away from anybody going, well, that was bad.
No,
it was been
great.
like, oh man, super cool people.
We didn't want to leave.
Cool people. Oh man, super cool people. Why? Yeah, exactly. Why do we got to leave? Yeah,
you're not done with this podcast yet.
Yeah, we got plenty of folks that we want to definitely get on here and talk to and stuff. And of course, but we sure appreciate you guys in short notice and sharing a little bit with us, and we hope to have you on again
for sure.
And we can talk more about. I'd love to have you both on, not talk about specifically your shop and what about you, but just to shoot the shit about customs and hot rods and the culture and stuff like that. Because I think the more conversations that we have about it and get it out there, and air the things that we think we can improve on and things that we can change, and to make it even better. Again, the way you're doing car shows versus the way car shows or cruise-ins are generally done, sounds like you're trying to change it and make it a lot more where people are like, I gotta go, I don't want to miss that.
Right.
So I'm sure there's some takeaways for many places that are holding them. They could learn a lesson or two on how to do it where everybody walks away enjoying themselves. So
yeah, that'd
be cool to have you back on to talk about that kind of stuff.
Cool.
And before we go, I gotta give a big shout out to my granddaughter.
Oh. Hi, Emmy.
Hi, Emmy.
Grampy Jalopy says, hey.
Grampy
Jalopy.
Where's Chelsea?
Yeah, where's Chelsea? We want to know where Chelsea is. Anyway. All right. Well, let's let these folks go, and we're going to close it out. Been great talking to you guys.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
And we're gonna roll a close, but if you guys could hang back,
hang for a second, we'll give you a close out. Yep.
All right. Well, there you have
another Monday night in the book.
Yes, that was Scott and Nicole Ferguson from Ferg Rod Shop, our buddies from Michigan. What a great time.
I don't know if you guys are aware, but Scott's very famous.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's super famous. And I'm glad I got to say the last words and he couldn't say anything back. Oh, look, I muted him. He can't say anything else either. Ha ha. No, just kidding. Unmuted. But yeah, super great people. And again, we had such a fun time. Frankenmuth is where we really got to hang out with them. And just walking around, and he was hilarious. And of course, Nicole is so funny, and they're a great couple, and we had such a great time with them. But we had a great time with everybody in the Michigan Hot Rod Gang, and they've always made us, in a short period of time, made us feel very welcome and a part of the family at times when we we're there. So it's been pretty dang great. So I thank you guys for all that.
Yeah. And thank you, everyone who tuned in and participated in the conversation tonight.
Always
if you have any other questions, go check out Ferg's Rod Shop. There's a Facebook page. Scott Ferguson, Nicole Ferguson on Facebook. Go check them out.
Yep. And of course, we are Johnny Jalopy and ity-b.
Mm-hmm.
You've been watching Sketchy Live, the podcast. Please head over to johnnyjalopy.com where you can get hats, stickers, t-shirts, all kinds of fun stuff you can buy.
Beanies.
T-shirts if you want to support the podcast and the sketching show. We do sell a t-shirt. It's a Sketchy Live t-shirt. Those funds definitely help keep us going and make this a whole lot easier.
Maybe we can get back up there for
we'd love to come see you. So if you really love to see us in Detroit, buy a t-shirt, help us out.
Fund the dream. Fund the dream.
Yep. Oh, sorry. That was breakfast. Anyhow, have a super week. We will see you again very soon next Monday, where hopefully my glasses will be in and we'll be back to sketching. So we'll see you again next Monday.
Right, guys.
And
in the
as
meantime,
always, stay sketchy. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.